Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Turnbull, co-director of the Psychosocial Safety and Leadership Institute, and I am so excited to be chatting with Alanna Ball from Women in Safety. And we're going to have a chat about who Alanna is, what Women in Safety offers, why this matters, and how you can connect with her to find out more. Alanna, thank you so much for being part of the collective.
Of course, I can't think of a better place to be and a better community to be involved in, other than women in safety, maybe, right?
Which is awesome and amazing. And I'm so glad that we're connected. And I'm so glad that we connected a couple of years ago because
I know.
our values are aligned, our supports are aligned. And I love being part of the Women in Safety community. And now you're part of the collective. And I want to share with our community who you are. So, can you share with us a little bit about your background and experience?
Yeah. So I started a career in HR, very quickly jumped ship into the wonderful world of health and safety. Some might call it the dark side. I call it the light side, the bright side, the fun side. But jumped into health and safety headfirst in exploration drilling, and I think got humbled very quick in terms of wanting that support network. So I felt I had a great support network in HR. Now we're in health and safety, lost that. So what you can't see, I created. So I created the Women in Safety community to be that space for women to come together and, dare I say, for very selfish reasons, to ask the dumb questions, the questions that's like, I just don't get it. And to be brave and bold enough to say, it's okay not to know everything. And I think for me, they're the foundations that Women in Safety has been built on to really have those conversations, to be like, we don't have to have all the answers. Let's work together and collectively to find solutions that keep people safe.
Yeah. And you just triggered a memory. At the Brisbane Summit, you came and spoke, and we shared some incredible feedback and photos on LinkedIn, and someone shared, there's a lot of women in HR, but not in work health and safety. And I said, look, that's really what you see. In HR, it's women in safety, it's women, but in safety, it's more of the men that's the focus
Mm.
because it's traditionally been that, technical, it's the physical, and it's been more run by and led by men. So women in safety, we kind of feel a little bit um, isolated.
Mm.
And your community helps to bring that together and have those conversations in that safe space.
Yeah, and look, the first time I turned up to a networking event for health and safety was very much faced with, there might have been only two other women in the room. And I felt that isolation and that, how am I ever going to be brave enough as a, early 20s to put my hand up and say, I've got no clue what I'm doing. And I'd done my degree in health and safety, but it did not equate to the middle of the Papua New Guinean jungle and some of the risks that we had to focus on over there. And some of the really tangible stuff that I was faced with doesn't come out of a textbook, but it comes out of great collaboration and conversation.
Yes, definitely. Um, so you've got the community in women in safety. What else do you offer?
Yeah, so we have really, and 2025 has been such a, I guess what I would call a rebuild year. So, I feel like we lost our path a little bit and some of those really core functions of what we want to deliver. And for me, our three values are empower, inspire, and transform. That's about empowering them with that community, that solid kind of backing that says, I feel empowered to, call these things out or to have these conversations or to ask those questions. So we have that from the community side. We have the inspire, being inspired, whether that is through our Women in Safety Awards, whether that's through our podcast. So just listening and hearing other women on their journey in health and safety and what are the challenges that they have to overcome. And then transform, being the webinars, the workshops, the mentoring program, which we released this year, really helping people transform where they are in their career career, whether that's right at the beginning or at the peak of their career, where they want to transform to next.
Mm.
And for me, that really sums up what we're there to achieve is that community, the inspiration, and that, hey, we're all in this together, and the, hey, I want to rebuild or I want to get somewhere next, give me the information, the knowledge, and the support to get there.
Yes. And I love that. And I see that in the community chat all the time.
Mm,
Women saying, "Hey, has anyone experienced this? Or does anyone have a template for that? Or has anyone
mm.
done this? Or do you know someone in the
And
area?"
that's how it should be.
And exactly what we're doing here in the
Mm,
Psychosocial Safety Institute as well.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. And one of the other questions, and I kind of feel like you've answered it, but I really want to ask it, is what makes your approach and your service unique?
I think that, to be honest, it's that I'm in the thick of it with others, that I'm experiencing and utilizing the community as much as others are. I still need the community, and I started it, as I said, very selfishly. But I think the fact that I'm in there using it as well, and still facing the same challenges in my own career, I think is quite unique in that space from a leadership perspective. But I also think just with that community and having women connecting and talking means that the connection keeps growing, the knowledge keeps being shared, and that those touch points across Australia, across industries, you know the peripherals of health and safety, it's all coming into this one community to
Mm.
collaborate, and I think that's just so powerful.
Yeah. And there's nothing else out there like it.
Mm,
When
mm,
when you search women in safety, there's podcasts, there's bits and pieces out there.
mm,
There's nothing that does what you do. There's nothing that brings it together and provides the
mm.
support that your community does. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks.
Now, you are also the director of the safety team and the Hunter Safety Awards, as you can see on your wonderful background.
Yes.
Share a bit about those.
Yeah, so the safety team, I guess, fell out of what I was doing in women in safety. And uh, when I was working in a corporate role, I had twins very prematurely. And for me, that was a real transition point of going, I don't know. And when I say premature, it was 13 weeks early. So we had a very long stint in NICU, a lot of long days, a lot of silence. And I think for me, that really spawned the idea that not only could I do the women in safety community full time, but I wanted to lead by example from a consulting perspective and bring my approach and who I am with that kind of HR and health and safety lens into what I do in that consulting space. So the safety team is purely health and safety consulting. I work with some incredible national and international brands now, and I feel very fortunate that some of the clients fall into the women in safety community, but also outside of that. So I love what I do day to day. And then the Hunter Safety Awards I acquired from the wonderful Sarah Jane Dunford. Sarah Jane had run the Hunter Safety Awards for 8 years. She decided to step away and said, there is no one in Australia better to hand this off to than you. And she very much said, you've just got that voice in health and safety that's going to cut through the noise, that can continue to bring the excitement and the joy back into the awards. So we're going into our 10th year next year. It is for the Hunter Valley region, and it is an incredible gala dinner celebrating all things health and safety in the region. And I think we're really looking as we head into that 10th year to bring the stories to life, because I think the more we celebrate health and safety and share those lessons learned and what works, what didn't, the better the Hunter region will be as well. So it's an incredible brand with some incredible organizations doing great things.
Yes. And I went last year, or this year. What
It
year
was this year. I know. It feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
it does. It was
Mm.
amazing. It's in my hometown and I love that. And what's your hometown? I know you travel everywhere, but
Yeah.
I love to ask this question because people love to know if you're around the corner so they can go, "Hi, let's catch up for coffee." So whereabouts are you located?
Yeah, so I'm based in Brisbane now, raising my family on Quantumica land here out near the ocean, which is really nice. And yeah, but Brisbane based, but yes, often traveling Sydney, Melbourne, Newcastle. So yes, I feel like I'm all over the place at the moment, but love every part of it.
At the moment, all the time.
Yeah, yes.
So, when it comes to all of the work that you do, why is it important? Why is doing the work for Women in Safety, the safety team, the Hunter Safety Awards, why is it important to you?
I grew up, funnily enough, I grew up in Gladstone, which is, I guess, a little bit of a resources hub in central Queensland. And I saw health and safety go wrong on multiple occasions. And albeit started my career in HR, I really felt this pull to understand why. And my brother is such a classic example. Boilermaker, going to work, coming home with the weld burns all up his arms. And my brain just goes, there is nothing in HR that is going to help me protect him from that harm. So how about I jump ship to health and safety? So that's where it kind of started from for me. And what it's, I guess, morphed into is um, I love to chat. I will talk underwater. And I think if anything, for me, the reason that I do these things is to give people that voice.
Mm.
And I think about the 25-year-old me who didn't have the courage to turn around and to say to site managers or, to organizations that perhaps I was working in that really didn't share my values as far as health and safety, that, there's better ways. I'm not telling you we can't be productive in an organization or we can't continue to do what we need to do, but there's better ways to do it. And how do we bring people into that journey, whether that's through the women in safety community and helping them feel empowered to continue that voice, whether it's celebrating what good looks like in the hunter or helping organizations really dive into it and flesh some of that out and get into their systems within the safety team. So I absolutely love what I do. And I think now with my little humans as well, I think if I can advocate now, imagine the world that they work in when they choose to work in the big bad world one day.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And that's why we connect so well
Mm.
as well. And have we mentioned the Women in Safety Awards?
I mentioned them briefly with the Inspire side of women in safety, but yes, we have an incredible awards and yeah, so both the Hunter and Women in Safety have a gala dinner and both super proud because I think, as I said, celebrating health and safety needs to be done more, not less.
100%. And what kind of leaders and organizations do you enjoy working most with?
Oh, uh, ones that truly get it. And I know that that sounds vague, but I think, I've worked with organizations in the past that, it is a tick and flick, it's a compliance exercise. And, I feel quite privileged now to work in an environment that uh, I work in an environment that allows me to be able to kind of pick and choose who those clients are and what I want to achieve when working with them. Um, and for me, what good looks like is the leaders who are prepared to ask the questions, who are prepared to dive into, well, what are we doing well, and actually be faced with the, well, what isn't working, and accept that for what it is. We may not want to move it right now, but there's a level of that. I guess self-reflection and self-accountability of where they fit in. So I think from a leadership perspective, that accountability has a huge part. And I love working with them because I think, you can have those bold conversations. And from an organizational standpoint, I feel like that flows into that. And organizations that are prepared to kind of look at it a bit different and go, why do we have all of this stuff when we haven't even spoken to what our people need? So, yeah, look, really diverse. I don't ever try and pigeonhole in any of them because I think there's incredible work being done in all sorts of pockets across this incredible nation of ours.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, that comes to the end of my questions, but the last one I want to ask is what's the best way that the community can connect with you?
Look, I think as a excuse me, as a really easy kickoff point, I think LinkedIn is just such a good one. I feel like from there, the world is your oyster. Obviously, we have the Women in Safety website, so womeninsafety.net, the Hunter Safety Awards, and the safety team all separately have their own website and social media presence. So I would say just connect with me on LinkedIn if there's anything you want to know. I'm always open for a conversation.
Fantastic. And I'll add them to your digital profile and they'll be below as well. So
Thanks,
thank you
Nicole.
so much for that. Thank you for the work that you do, the incredible work that you do.
I was going to say the same in reverse. I'm so excited to see what you all achieve at the Institute, I think, and the collective, and just to see where things grow and what we can do to help individuals and organizations really understand what this looks like and create real change.
Yes. And it's about working together with incredible
Mm,
people like you that are as passionate as we all are to help
yeah,
and help each other as well. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you for being part of the collective and can't wait to chat more.
can't wait. Thanks, Nicole.